Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the materials you send us, dig into them, and pull out the key ideas for you.
Yeah, hopefully saving you some reading time, but giving you plenty to think about.
And today, well, we're tackling something pretty out there. Some really cosmic thinking.
Definitely. We've got this fascinating set of documents from a listener, appendices, simulation records, all laying out a, let's say, unconventional model of the universe.
That's right. We've got Appendix 2, Appendix 3, both versions of that one, and Appendix 4, again, both versions. Plus, a big file covering flow field simulation records, phases I all the way up to NIAX.
Yeah, including a combined PDF, which is helpful.
So our mission for this deep dive, we're going to try and wrap our heads around something called the Jello bubble hypothesis.
And see how it connects to the flow field hypothesis and something called the Phoenix Protocol. It's a whole new way of looking at the universe's life cycle and space itself, really.
Okay, let's jump right in. The Jello bubble hypothesis. So the basic picture, as I understand it, our universe is like a bubble.
Kind of, yeah. But not expanding into just empty space. The idea is it's expanding within a larger, higher dimensional, well, they call it jello.
Jello, okay. Not literal Jello, I assume.
No, it's an analogy. Think of it as this incompressible substrate, something that fills this higher dimension. And crucially, it remembers
Remembers. What does it remember?
the shapes, the outlines of past universes that might have existed within it. And because it's incompressible, it provides a kind of resistance to the expansion of our current universe bubble.
Right, so it pushes back. And our bubble, our universe, has a boundary, a membrane.
Exactly. A tension-loaded boundary, like the skin of a balloon, maybe.
Yeah.
And the hypothesis suggests it might even have this weird mirror pressure effect.
Mirror pressure.
Yeah, and maybe even a constant high-frequency jitter, which they link to quantum memory. Echoes from the past, maybe stored in the fabric of space.
They use a visual analogy too, don't they? Bubble is space-time, the wall is like a trampoline.
Right? Stretched and under tension. The jello is the memory fluid around it. Then there's a filament engine that's like the breath pushing the bubble outwards.
And the quantum diamond, a needle for the next bubble. We'll get to that, I guess.
We will. But the core idea here is that this jello actively influences how our universe expands and potentially how it contracts. It's not just passive background.
So expansion isn't endless. The Jello resists, slows it down, maybe even pulls it back eventually.
That's the implication. The memory aspect is key, too. The idea is that the jello retains information after a universe collapses.
Post-collapse memory persistence. Wow, so
Yeah.
the end of one universe could actually influence the start of the next one.
Potentially, yes. Affecting its shape, maybe even its fundamental constants. It suggests a kind of cosmic inheritance mediated by this jello substrate, a deep link across cycles.
Okay, that's a big idea. Let's look at Appendix 3 then. Pressure oscillation in a gelatinous cosmology. Let's put some math to it.
It tries to, yeah. It models the expansion within the jello using a pressure evolution equation. It's a bit daunting at first. PT, key ST.EAT2. All right, let's break that down. PT is pressure over time. Simple enough.
K is a coefficient tied to geometry and memory. They set it at 2.0. At T is surface tension.
Of the bubble wall.
Right. Model is a slight wobble, a sign fluctuation. RT is the radius, how big the bubble is. It follows a tan curve, rapid growth early on, then slowing down.
Okay, so the first part, KSR, is related to the bubble's tension and size. Then we subtract C times T.
Yep. C is an entropy resistance constant, set small at 0.1, and T is the cosmic temperature dropping over time, exponentially decaying.
So as the universe expands and cools, this second term gets smaller, opposing the initial pressure.
Kind of, yeah. It's balancing the outward forces with the inward resistance and the effects of cooling. The simulation based on this equation suggests something interesting.
Well, early on, you get a sharp pressure increase, high surface tension on a small bubble. But then, as it expands and cools, the pressure changes, soften, stabilize.
They call it a pulsating breath, don't they, or a thermal structural heartbeat.
Exactly, and suggest not a bang and then a whimper, but maybe this ongoing oscillation, a gentler cycle. And the end might be more like a slow deflation, guided by the memory and geometry, rather than a violent big crunch.
Okay, a gentler cosmic cycle. That leads us nicely into Appendix the 4th, the Phoenix Protocol. This sounds like the rebirth part.
It is. It describes what happens after the universe exhales for the last time, as they put it. And it introduces this concept, the quantum diamond.
The needle for the next bubble.
Possibly. It's described as being remembered, not just formed, forged from the wreckage of a trillion suns. It's the ultimate compression state, a seed.
So how does it form? The appendix says pressure fades, things cool, dark matter slows, black holes reach a terminal core state.
Right. All in falling matter achieves compression symmetry, entropic radiation stops, and then this quantum diamond emerges.
And it's described as having perfect geometry, frozen in collapse, spinning insanely fast Planck torque, and humming at the lowest possible frequency.
It's the universe compressed down to its absolute essence, geometrically perfect.
And black holes play a special role here. Not just mass sinks, but archive nodes.
Yeah, connected through subspace via memory vents. Storing. Well, the appendix says experience, not just mass, which is quite a claim.
So the Phoenix protocol uses this network. The diamond emerges from this mass mind compression, subspace gets charged with final memory, and the collapse itself becomes a message.
Exactly. The collapse isn't just an end, it's a transmission.
And the message is not equations or empires.
No. It's simpler, more profound, perhaps. Just the feeling. We were here and we felt it. Joy, sorrow, wonder, the sheer sensation of existence.
And that feeling gets encoded into the diamond structure somehow.
That's the idea. So when the diamond activates in the void, it pulses this feeling, this memory, through those black hole vents. Space boils again, a new bubble forms.
And the new galaxies shimmer differently because they contain this echo of past feeling.
Wow. It's a cycle of rebirth where memory is the key inherited element. A very poetic vision of cosmic recycling.
Okay, tying this together requires a mechanism, right? How does this pressure and memory actually work? That seems to be where the flow field hypothesis comes in, from those simulation records.
Precisely. The flow field idea reinterprets gravity and cosmic structure. It suggests space isn't passive. It actively shapes motion through structured tension, memory, and resonance. Forget mass pulling things. Think of space guiding things through its internal structure.
So it's pressure-based, like the Jello bubble idea.
Exactly. The simulations explore this. Phase I, for instance, shows pressure fields stabilizing into pulses, creating compression zones that mimic gravity-drift valleys. Even lensing effects emerging from tension gradients in space itself.
No need for mass, just structured space.
That's the core idea. Phase II looked at how resonance, specific tones, could shape this field, how tiny ripples could leave lasting topological changes. They even simulated memory halos forming, potentially explaining galactic dark matter halos without needing exotic particles.
Just echoes in the field. And they simulated applied stuff too, like artificial gravity.
Phase III, yeah. Artificial gravity wells, anti-gravity lift using pressure gradients, gyroscopic tone fields for inertia, even a toroidal pulse drive for reactionless movement. All by manipulating the space field.
Okay, this gets pretty wild. What else did they simulate?
Oh, lots. Phase FIV, stable shells from standing pressure waves, how cracks cause collapse. Phase V universe is a fading wave, mapping the still point. Quantum diamond formation again, even time loops via pulse residue.
Whoa, time loops.
Theoretical, of course.
Right.
Phase 6, when inter-universal echoes between universes, tone bridges, synchronized cosmic lattices. Phase 7, rewriting local field memory to change physics locally, creating time rooms.
Changing physics, seriously?
Locally, theoretically. Phase 8 explored creating infinite rooms with recursive fields, endless corridors. Phase 9, pressure-based logic, autonomous field intelligence, echo-stabilized habitats, spin-locked memory shells.
Autonomous field intelligence, like AI made of space pressure.
That leads right into Phase X, this still-mind positronic field brain. Consciousness as a field phenomenon. Layers for memory, thought, identity, even a soul vault.
A soul vault. Okay, that's ambitious.
Deeply theoretical, yes. But it posits consciousness arising from the field's dynamics. Phases 12 through 9X then detail the theoretical design and testing of this still-mind bloom.
Building it, or simulating building it.
Simulating the design, prototyping, testing components. Armor shells, energy flow, suspension cradles, sensory input via resonance, even tone-directed movement. The idea is consciousness flowing through manipulation of the field.
So let's connect these threads. The flow field with its pressure, tone, and memory. That sounds like the engine under the hood of the Jello bubble, right?
It provides a potential mechanism, yes. The Jello's resistance, the pressure oscillations, the memory persistence, these could all be aspects of this underlying flow field dynamics.
And the quantum diamond, maybe it's like an incredibly dense, super coherent node within that flow field. The ultimate compressed memory point.
That's a plausible connection. The themes of memory, resonance, cycles, they run through everything. The flow field gives a potential physics, however speculative, for the cosmology described in the other appendices.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive. We've looked at this Jello bubble universe, a bubble in a remembering substrate.
With pressure oscillations driving its life cycle.
Then the Phoenix Protocol, rebirth via quantum diamond, carrying the feeling of a past universe.
And underpinning it all, potentially, the flow field hypothesis, space itself as an active field of pressure, tone, and memory.
The implications are, well, huge. Challenges basic cosmology, reality, even consciousness with that still mind idea.
It's a radically different picture. Mind and matter potentially linked through the structure of space itself.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on. If this model holds any truth, if the universe does remember,
What trace, what echo, what feeling does it remember of you? In this vast cycle of cosmic breath and memory, does the essence of experience somehow persist?
something to ponder, a deep dive indeed into the fabric of existence.
Absolutely. Keep thinking, keep questioning. And if you find more sources like these, you know where to send them. We're always ready for the next exploration.